Hello everyone and welcome back to the Helgeek Arena. Today we are going to discuss yet another very interesting problem on Leet Code, which is car fleet. Now let's take a look at the problem. So in this problem, you have been given n cars that are going to the same destination on a one lane road. That is, they are all moving in the same direction towards a particular target. Now you can assume this as a number line starting from 0 till target, and there are some cars that are positioned somewhere in between 0 and the target. Right now you have been given the value of the target, the position of each of the n cars plus the speed of each of these cars. Now all these cars are moving towards the target with some specific speed. Now it might just happen that the car which is let's say there is a car A which is running with a speed 1, and then there is a car B which is behind A and it is running with a speed 5. So it might just happen that even before A reaches the target, the car B might just collide with the car A. In this case, how we are going to handle it is that both these cars are going to act as a one big car. That is, we have called them over here as a car fleet, and they are going to move with a single speed which will be equivalent to the speed of the slower car. Now these kind of collisions will keep on taking place as and when the cars are moving towards the target. Now after all these collisions and all the cars have reached the target, you have to tell us like how many car fleets were there which reached the final destination. Now let's take a look how we can solve this problem. So over here, if you see, the target in this example has been set to 12. I have represented this entire thing in the form of a number line from 0 to 12, and we have been given the position and the speed of all the n cars. Now we have total of 5 cars over here. I have represented them by A, B, C, D and E respectively, and I, according to the positions given over here, I have put them in on a number line. Now if you see over here, each of these cars are moving in like this particular direction. Now what we need to see is that if car A, let's say it takes t1 time, and let's say there is this car B, if it takes t2 time, then in case t1 is lesser than t2, then what will happen is that there won't be any collision, right? There would be no collision, right? But in case t2 is less than t1, then in that case collision will happen, right? So what we need to find over here is that we are going to try to first of all find out how much time it takes for each of these cars to move towards the final destination one by one, starting from the car which is closest to the target towards the car which is farthest from the target, and then moving in this direction. We are going to calculate how much time each of these cars takes to reach the destination, and then via this we can find out how many collisions are going to happen. So let's take a look at it. So for car A, the distance between target and the position of the car, let's denote it by D, is 2. Basically 12 minus 10, which is 2. The speed of the car has been mentioned to be, from here we'll look into it, so it's 2, right? So the time it will take will be equivalent to distance divided by speed, which is 2 by 2, which is 1. So A will take 1 second to reach the target. Now if we look at B, now for B, the distance between source and target is 4, that is 12 minus 8 is equal to 4, and the speed of the car is also 4, right? So the time it will take is 4 divided by 4, which is equivalent to 1. Similarly for C, if we look at it, the distance between C and target is 12, that is 12 minus 0, which is equivalent to 12, right? And the speed of the car is 1, right? So the time it will take is 12 divided by 1, which is equivalent to 12 seconds. Now if we look at D, the distance between D and target is 12 minus 5, which is equivalent to 7. Speed of the car is speed of the car for D is 1, So the time it will take is 7 divided by 1, which is equivalent to 7 seconds. Now if you look at E, the distance between E and target is 12 minus 3, which is 9, and the speed of the car is 3. So the time taken will be equivalent to 9 divided by 3, which is 3. Now if we see what we have over here is the time each of these cars individually takes to reach the destination from their initial position, given that there are no collision taking place. Now if a collision taking place, they would become a part of a particular fleet, and they would move from there onwards with the speed which would be equivalent to the speed of the fleet, right? So how we are going to utilize this information over here is similar to what I have mentioned over here. That is, if there is a fleet that is moving towards the target, and there is a new car that is coming in and that collides with the fleet, then we are going to make that particular car part of that fleet, and it will also start moving with the speed of the slower car. That is, the time it will take will be equivalent to the time taken by the slower car. So what we are going to do over here is that we are going to start iterating from the car which is nearest to the target towards the car which is farthest from the target, and then we are going to maintain two particular variables. One is the number of fleets that we have found till now, and what is the current timing of the fleet. That is, how much time the current fleet will take to reach the final destination. So if we take how we are going to start is that we are going to start with the car which is nearest to the target, which is A. So we already know the time A takes to reach the final destination is 1, and and initially we have just one fleet because we just have one fleet having A in it. Now we are going to check whether B needs to be added to the same fleet or it will be a part of the new fleet. So for doing that, what we are going to do is that we are going to check whether the time taken by B is greater than the time taken by the current fleet or not. So the time taken by B is 1, right, which is equal to the current timing of the fleet. So basically B will also collide with A, or B will collide with the current fleet. So number of fleets don't change, and current time also doesn't change, right? So now we are going to move to the next car, which is D. We are not you already know that we are moving from the target towards the farthest car. So the next car that comes into picture is D. So for D we check, D takes 7 seconds to reach the destination, right? The current time of the fleet is 1, so 7 is greater than 1. So what we are going to do is that this means that D cannot be the part of the same fleet. So D would be the part of another fleet. So we are going to increment the fleets counter, and also the current time. That is, we are this entire fleet which was carrying B and A has let's say already reached the final destination, right? Now we are on the other fleet which is having D, right? So and D is taking 7 seconds to reach the final target. So the current time becomes 7. Now we are going to check for E. Now E takes basically 3 seconds to reach the final target. We check whether 3 is greater than 7 or not. No, 3 is not greater than 7. So E would also become the part of the same fleet to which D belongs to, right? So we are not going to increment the fleets, and the current timing also remains to 7, right? Now we move on to C. Now we check C. C takes 12 seconds to reach destination. Now we compare 12 with 7 and we find that 12 is greater than 7. So basically C will be a part of a totally different fleet. So we are going to increment the fleets counter to 3, and we are going to change the current time to 12, which is the time C takes to reach the destination. Now there are no more cars, so we can say that the number of fleets is 3, which becomes our final answer. Now there is one important thing to consider in this problem is that how we are going to represent a particular state of a car. So a car can be basically be represented by 3 particular variables. One is how far it is from the target, the second being the speed of the car, and the third is the time it takes to reach the final target. So this is how we can represent each of these cars, that is the state of the car. And total we would be having that n cars. So basically we would be having an array of these car states. So this is how we can represent the data model of our problem. So let's look at the time and space complexity. So if we talk about the space complexity, as I already told that there are n cars, each car is represented by this state. So the space complexity would be equivalent to O of n, right? Now if we talk about about the time complexity, then what we have done over here, if we see, is that the first step is to calculate the time each of these cars take to go to the final target. So that takes O of n time complexity, right? Then our next step is that we kind of sort all these cars by their distance from the target, right? So sorting takes O of n log n, as we already know, right? And then we again do a loop across that sorted arrays, which takes O of n time, right? So the final time complexity of this problem is going to be n of log n, right? So this is how the time and space complexity of this problem looks like. So let's take a look at the solution of this problem. So basically what we are going to do over here is that first, as I mentioned, we are going to first of all create this car states array, which I have defined earlier, which will be having three things, that is distance from target, speed and time, right? Now I have taken time as a double over here, because time is calculated by distance divided by speed, so it could come into decimal value. So the first thing that we are going to do over here is that we are going to create all these car state objects. The next step, as I already mentioned, is going to be sorting all these car states by their distance from the target. So we are going to sort them in kind of decreasing order. And then the last step is the thing that I mentioned, that is we are going to traverse across this sorted array, and then we are going to check how many fleet counts we have by the algorithm that I have already kind of explained, and through that we are going to get this final fleet count over here. So basically that's how we can write the code for this problem. This is an accepted solution on LeetCode. So thanks for watching this video. That's all we have for today. You can find the solution in the description below, and thanks for watching this video. Thanks a lot. Bye bye. Please do subscribe the channel.